hunting mammoths. Hey guys, Austin here with Outer World Media. Sorry about that little weird introduction here to this video, but I couldn't help but do it, guys. This is March. This is the first week of March, so this video is going to be the weekly update slash monthly reading forecast. And March, from what I understand, is a pretty big month for most people because typically, from what I understand, there's a book tag, I guess, or something that you do in March. I've just found out about it within the last couple of days. It's kind of changed my TBR and whatnot, or reading forecast for the month. So let's get into it, guys. As always, hope you guys are staying safe. Hopefully you guys are starting to get a little bit of warmer weather like we are down here in West Texas. It seems like we're out of the single degree digit numbers and we're getting back into the 70s and low 80s. If we could be that degree temperature year round, I'd be happy as could be. But unfortunately, that is not the case here in West Texas. So it is what it is, guys. I guess, it's just the bed we've made. We got to lay in it. When you move to a certain part of the country or world, you got to deal with the weather. But, when it's freezing cold outside and it's, or 100 plus degrees outside, it makes want to stay inside and read a little bit more achievable, if you will. So let's get into it, guys. We're going to start off with, what did I read this last week? And then we'll kind of slowly transition into the TBR, sorry, not TBR, the monthly reading forecast. So starting off, guys, what did I read? Well, I did pick up and I finished Firestarter by Stephen King. What I will say, I'm going to do an in-depth review of this book. What I will say, I did enjoy this one. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed this one quite a bit more than I did Carrie. I feel like having not have read, everything by King or most of the stuff by King, I feel like the best comparison I have for this is Carrie. But I enjoyed this one immensely more than Carrie. It is quite a bit longer and whatnot. What I will say, without going too much into, reviewing it and whatnot, because again, I am going to do an individual review for this book. The idea of the shop has me very, very curious. I know King has his story, The Institute, and I thought I heard there might be something about the shop in there. I could be mistaken. If he has not written a whole lot about it, I would be very interested to read more with the shop in it. I think the shop as a whole may be, I don't want to say they're bumbling fools. They did get outsmarted in this book for the most part by, a child and a man who was on the run who wasn't in the best of health. Again, but the shop as a whole sounds very interesting to me. I wish and I hope King delves a little bit more into that in, some of his other books. But again, Firestarter by King, I could see why a lot of people hold this in high regard and whatnot. Again, just very interesting. And the way he goes about doing this and writing this story, I was a little shocked by some of it and some of it not so much. Again, yeah, it's hard to go in and kind of give just a kind of broad overview without going a whole lot into it. But again, I really did enjoy this. Finished it in less than a week, so that should tell you something. I mean, it was a 400 plus page book, so really, really enjoyed that. And I finished that, what was it, Friday morning I finished that. So, between Sunday starting it and finishing Friday, that's not too bad. Again, kind of flew through it, especially that last part. Just flew through it. So I finished up, like I said, Friday morning and said, I feel like there's something, I just kind of want to pick up a book, something quick, something that I can finish probably before doing, this video today. And I said, let me take a look at some of those other King books that I picked up and let me see what's on there. And I've never been a fan of short story collections. I'm not going to lie. That's not something that I've really ever gravitated to. I do apologize if you can hear the wind in the background. But I said, what? I need to pick up a short story collection by King. I've heard that his short stories are awesome and whatnot. And I picked up from what I understand, is his most well-known and most beloved short story collection, and that is Night Shift. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, I finished it this morning, started it late Friday night. I read till like 1 o'clock in the morning Friday night. I think I started this at like midnight, 11:30, whatever, and read till 1 o'clock in the morning. I could not put this thing down. And then yesterday was a WWE pay-per-view, so I had to watch that. And if you didn't watch it, I'm sure you've probably heard about it by now. But again, I finished this in less than 48 hours, and I can see why this is his most beloved short story collection. I've heard all the other ones are good too, but if this is the cream of the crop, as good as it gets, I'm not sad that I picked this one up first, but I kind of wish that I had picked up some of his other ones first. Again, without going too much into detail, what I will say, my favorite story in this one has to be, I think it was One for the Road, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe it was One for the Road had to be my favorite short story in this collection. I'm kind of curious what everybody else's favorite collection or short story favorite was in this. Yeah, guys, again, flew through this one. I mean, I don't know why I was telling my wife this morning. I said, I'm just kind of high, pedal to the metal, high octane with flying through King stuff. I don't know if it's because it's been forever since I've tried to give his stuff a try. I mean, I did try reading it there however many months ago, and it just wasn't working for me. So I don't know. But again, picked up Night Shift and finished it. So 700 plus pages of King was read in less than a week, or in a week's time. I'll give it a week's time. So again, really enjoyed those. Super happy that I picked those up. Was able to finish those, rather quickly, and kind of, get into, what I had intended for the month of March. So let's get into that, guys. Again, it is March. It is March of the Mammoths. So I'll delve a little bit more into that here in just a second. But we're going to start off with, what am I going to be reading? Well, of course, we are picking up the Sackett series and continuing on with that. I am partway into part 11. I cannot wait to start these whenever the time comes at the beginning of the month. So like I said, Sackett series, continuing that. And then, guys, it is March. We have a new release that I'm so excited to talk about, guys. Stephen Graham Jones has his book Buffalo Hunter coming out the middle of this month. I have pre-ordered it, and I am super excited to get that in and whatnot. I did have to order it through Amazon, which I'm a little bummed, because if you haven't paid attention, Amazon's had this huge debacle with Kindle and whatnot, but that's a whole separate video. Let me know down in the comments if you're interested to hear about that or my thoughts on that. But I did pre-order that, and I'm super excited to start that the middle of this month and get into that and continue on with, the Stephen Graham Jones, just reading his books. It's about a vampire during the Old West. Super excited to be picking that up and delving into that, guys. So those are three that I have up on deck to try and read this month. And then, like I said, it is March of the Mammoths month. If you don't know what that is, March of the Mammoths, from what I understand, it was a tag that was started years ago, or a challenge where you pick up a tome of a book in the month of March. I believe 800 plus pages. In my honest opinion, I'm not judging the tag by any means. I think if you're someone who thinks 500 pages is a tome, I think it should be whatever you consider to be a tome. Because understandably, there's going to be people out there who can't read 800 plus pages in a month, which is, completely understandable. So if you think 500 pages or 400 pages is a tome, I'd recommend read that. Pick up something that is, achievable in my opinion, but also something that you're going to enjoy, So that's what I will say. I don't even want to say it's a critique. That's my little 2 cents on the tag. But I heard about this a couple days ago and said, I kind of want to do that, so what can I figure out? What can I do? I was going to pick up Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth and read this and whatnot, and I had this up on deck ready to go, and then, I don't know, guys, just with the rate that I was able to knock out these King books, it got me wanting to read a Stephen King tome. And so I went back and looked and said, what have I read? I've read, Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Shining, Night Shift, The Dead Zone, Firestarter, if I haven't said that already, I think I did. And I thought, what's another King book from the 70s that I have not read that's a tome? And one that stood out to me and is probably the most daunting task that I've attempted, is going to be one that I'm picking up. I'm going to be picking up Stephen King's The Stand, guys. I feel like with the rate that I was able to read these other King books and just the fact that I enjoyed every second, whether it was Firestarter or every little short story in that collection, I want to give this a try. I need to. I've tried reading this 4 or 5 times and have never gotten past like page 100, 150. Don't ask me why. I've never been able to get past that. And to put that into perspective, I'll give you guys 200. Page 200 right there, okay? You still have all this left. Again, this is the complete uncut edition. This is 1,100 plus pages and whatnot that I'm going to try and read within the month of March. I'm a couple days behind at this point, but you know what? It doesn't matter to me. I'm just super excited to be getting into this. I was telling my wife earlier that I need to go online and get me a hardcover edition to go with my hardcover copies that I have here and whatnot. But yeah, guys, I'm going to be trying to read The Stand. So that kind of, again, leads into what is up on deck for this week, guys. Well, I am going to be continuing on with the Skyliners. Again, pick this up. I'm just a tad bit under halfway there, and I just started reading this not that long ago today, so shouldn't have an issue finishing this within the next couple days. And then The Stand, thankfully, I do have the physical copy as well as a copy on my Kindle, so I don't think it'll be an issue to try and read this month. So again, once I finish the Skyliners, which again shouldn't have an issue finishing that this week, I think I'm mostly focused on The Stand and try to get as much of this knocked out as I possibly can. Again, I want to make sure that I have enough time freed up later this month for when that Stephen Graham Jones book comes out, so I can pick that up and start that on day one. But again, guys, just kind of wanted to get on here and tell you guys, what's going on with the week. Again, weekly update as well as a reading forecast and whatnot. Again, got some good books up on deck, I think, this month. Again, super excited to be kind of back in the groove with Stephen King and his works and whatnot and try and get some of these knocked out. Again, I need to get me a physical hardcover copy of The Stand. But you know what? That's just a small little issue. I have the paperback, so I think I'll be set for a little while, as well as I have it on my Kindle. Let me know, guys. What are you guys reading this month? Are you going to be participating in the March of the Mammoth series or tag, whatever it is? Again, I'll have a couple videos out this week for some reviews and whatnot. As always, guys, you guys stay safe. Stay inside if it's cold or too hot outside. If not, get outside, read a little, go explore some, and just enjoy life, I guess, guys. I will see you guys later. And then I wanted to give a small shout out real quick, just to kind of cap off the end of this video. A couple shout outs. Number one, me and Dustin are continuing the Wheel of Time read along series the 1st of April. You still have all this month to read if you want to join us and whatnot, whether you communicate in the comments with us or just kind of read it, and just kind of see what we have to say about it. There's still plenty of time to do that and whatnot. Me and Dustin finished that first book in like 2.5 weeks, so there's still plenty of time there. And then secondly, I just wanted to give the shout out and let you guys know to go check out Kevin Toll's, I believe it's his 1-year anniversary extravaganza here on YouTube. I know I will be joining it and watching it myself, not on there talking with Kevin, but I'll be in the comments, guys, so hopefully I'll see you guys there. If you don't want to comment, still go by, check it out. Kevin's a cool dude. Always love his videos, his reviews, just his uniqueness and goofiness in his videos. So again, guys, go check that out, and I will see you guys next time.